The Pixel Watch 4 has a big bright screen, satellite connectivity, dual frequency GPS, and the smartest assistant on your wrist. On paper, it's a beast, but how does it really perform? Here's the good and the not so good after wearing it for 2 weeks. Google's latest watch doesn't change the design from earlier models, but the screen itself gets a lot brighter at a maximum 3,000 nits, just like the Galaxy Watch 8 and the Apple Watch Ultra 3. I've had no issues seeing it outdoors, except for a few reflections thanks to that curved glass design. I'm wearing the 45mm version and my wrist is 152mm. Looks big? Yep, that's actually a deliberate choice because I wanted to see if Google's 40-hour battery claim on this model held true. More on that later. The display itself is just gorgeous, and paired with this new look in Material 3 Expressive and some great new Wear OS watch faces, it really is a stunner. I do love how the interface mirrors the rounded curves of the watch, and it doesn't sacrifice readability for a pretty looking design either. The notifications tab looks, well, quite frankly, beautiful, and I really am reluctant to use adjectives like that when it comes to user interfaces, but here we are. It all feels very cohesive between the Pixel phone and a Pixel watch. As for hardware, it's using the same Gorilla Glass 5 on the display as the earlier Pixel Watch. I've not had any damage or scratches to report so far, but I really wish Google would up the durability of the glass or at least give us an option for a model with tougher glass like the Apple Watch. On the plus side, this should be the most repairable watch released this year, and if needed, you can change out the battery and display yourself. Should we talk about Gemini? Yeah. It's time. This is one of the aces up the sleeve of the Pixel Watch, and it really is setting the bar for smart assistants on the wrist. Just like on the phone, you can ask queries that span across apps, like, say, for example, start an outdoor run and my workout playlist on Spotify. Or do something like this. Let Lexy Savvides know I am on the way and send my ETA to the ferry building. Pretty handy. This same Gemini functionality is also on the Galaxy Watch 8 as well, but there is one thing you won't get on the Samsung Watch that is on the Pixel Watch, and that is Raise to Talk. If you turn this on from the gestures menu, you'll notice this little curved blue line appear as you raise your wrist, so you can really pretend you're doing the whole spy thing. Now, this works from within pretty much any app, but it will only show this visual indicator when you do so from the watch face. I tried this during a walk and I could just raise my wrist to talk, say what I wanted to Gemini, and it did it, all without me having to press anything. There are a couple of levels of sensitivity too, both of the raising action and for your voice, so you can play around with it to make it suit your needs. Or of course, turn it off completely if it's not your thing. There's also some AI responses when someone texts you, which can be useful, I guess, the more the watch gets to know you, but they do take a couple of seconds to generate and haven't really been as helpful as I thought they might be. The redesigned camera remote is great and lets you select all sorts of different modes, including astrophotography on your Pixel phone. I just wish it had the ability to toggle the optical zooms of the camera with buttons rather than this slider, which can be kind of fiddly. I've really been enjoying the better haptics on this watch. They are definitely stronger than the earlier Pixel watches and surface in more places around the interface, like when you're using Gemini. The Snapdragon W5 Gen 2 feels snappy for the most part, but there have been a couple of times in the past 2 weeks where I've felt the interface lag just a little bit. When it comes to staying in touch, you have the option of an LTE model, which also offers satellite SOS for emergency messaging. I haven't, as us Aussies say, gone bush yet and off the grid, but there is a demo mode you can try to get a sense of how this works. Hopefully you'll never need it, but it's great that it's there, and it is free for the first 2 years. Now, it wouldn't be a smartwatch review without talking you through some of the health and fitness features here. Like earlier Pixel watches, you'll see all of your data through the Fitbit app on your phone, from sleep score to the cardio load to recovery metrics. I do like that there's now some new bike metrics that appear on your phone. Similar to how the Apple Watch and the iPhone work, just mount your phone, start a cycling workout, and get stats from your wrist front and center on your phone screen. I just wish the Pixel Watch would connect to cycling power meters like the Apple Watch does. There's now dual frequency GPS, a feature that you might be familiar with that uses both L1 and L5 bands. Now, what this means is it should give you more accurate route information in areas where tall trees or buildings might block your signal. I've been testing in San Francisco and the GPS locks on really fast, but I did find a little bit of an edge case when walking my dog where the distance calculated on the watch didn't match up to what I know the route measures. I worked with Google to investigate, and it turns out that holding a leash in your hand can affect how steps are measured. Combined with GNSS data, that's how the watch calculates distance that appears in the exercise summary. The Pixel Watch GPS and Fitbit PM teams told me, quote, accurately tracking steps in situations like these, or when a user is using a stroller, is a huge challenge, and the team is constantly working on improving our tracking algorithms to handle scenarios like these. Elsewhere on the fitness front, it is pretty much the same as last year's Pixel Watch 3. Cardio load, advanced running metrics, the same heart rate sensor, and the loss of pulse feature. What is missing at the time of recording this video are two pretty big things. Number one, the AI health coach, and number two, the new redesigned Fitbit app. You might remember that Steph Curry appearance at the Made by Google event, and that was all to tease the personalized coaching tools for fitness and sleep coming soon, powered by Gemini. You know I will be putting this to the test when it comes out sometime in October, so subscribe if you are not already. Now, this is going to be a Fitbit premium feature, so you will need that subscription to use this coach. It is $10 a month, though you do get a 6-month free trial with the watch. Okay, I hinted at this earlier, but can we please talk about this battery? I don't know what kind of alchemy Google is playing here, but this watch has some really good battery life, especially when compared to the other Wear OS 6 watch from this year that I've tested, the Galaxy Watch 8. The claim for this 45mm model is up to 40 hours, but get this, I've been able to get closer to 48 or even 50 hours on the regular, and that's with the always-on display active, sleep tracking, a GPS workout or two, and several hours of LTE use without the phone nearby. Now, I have noticed anecdotally that the battery does drain a little faster with some watch faces like the Photos one, but overall I've been really happy with the battery life on this watch. I'm not so happy though about the new charging puck design. Now, it works really well, don't get me wrong, but it is a change from the Pixel Watch 3. It is annoying, but at least it charges really fast. In about 15 minutes, you can get around 50% battery, which I do appreciate. I really would love to see a cool charging kind of duo dock for this and a Pixel phone. Now, the new Pixel stand is great, but it needs a watch element to it as well, so I don't have to have two cords plugged in at the same time. Please? I've been testing the watch with a Pixel phone, but this being an Android smartwatch, I did want to see how it worked when paired with, say, a Samsung phone. Fortunately, you can do a watch transfer between phones without wiping the watch altogether. Just go to the Settings app and find System. Now, here are the features that I found that you won't get when using a Pixel watch on a Samsung phone. The camera remote doesn't work, and you will need a Pixel phone for the AI messages to work as well. So the Pixel Watch 4 really impresses me in so many ways. There's a great display, the battery is excellent, and Gemini is completely winning the wrist-based assistant game right now. There are some quirks and some trade-offs though. All that said, the Pixel Watch 4 is currently my favorite Android smartwatch, and I can't wait to test the new coaching tools to find out if they're actually helpful or not. But only time will tell if this watch is going to be durable enough to stand up to the elements.